thank you, and you may be seated. The first door on the first motion is to pay the bills. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So ordered, Secretary. Approval of health care reimbursement for the month of May. Employee reimbursement request last meeting of 2018 was 0. Total employee reimbursement request to date for 2018 is $3,715.18. Can I have an approval on the reimbursement? I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, and so ordered, Secretary. Approval of the minutes for the May 1st meeting. I'll make that a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're going to bounce around here a little bit. We're going to do our presentation first. Maybe we'll get some empty seats. Presentation of the 2 awards from the American Federation of Police for John Mandrell and Taylor Dunn. 2 outstanding police for Dallas Township. I'm very proud of them. Dougie, you take it from there.
This evening we'll be honoring 2 Dallas Township police officers with an American Police Hall of Fame award. But first I'd like to introduce Mr. John Bergen. Mr. Bergen is a loyal member of a trustee organization to the American Police Hall of Fame. Mr. Bergen nominated these 2 officers after seeing an article in the paper where the 2 officers were recognized for their quick thinking efforts that resulted in protecting our community. It is because of Mr. Bergen that Officer Taylor Dunn will be honored with a life-saving award, and Officer John Mendegral will be honored with the General Commendation Award. Thank you, Mr. Bergen. It's not often that the officers are recognized for all the good that they do, so we appreciate that effort. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I've been a member of the American Federation Police Organization for 20 years, and what we do is if a police officer does a good job, they take their life in their hands, and what this organization does is that the money goes, what happens is that it goes to a fund, and if a police officer gets killed in the line of duty, what happens is that they help the police officer and the families. The children get a Christmas gift, they get birthday gifts, and they get scholarships. And a state trooper or a police officer, because a lot of these police officers take their life in their hands, and a lot of people don't realize what they really do, that what they really do is for us, and sometimes everything is negative and it should be more positive. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, would you want to come up? This is Officer Mendegral. And what I'll do, I'll read you the letter that was sent to me by the National President of the American Police Hall of Fame Museum. Dear Officer Mendegral, it is my pleasure to inform you that you have been awarded the General Commendation Award for the National Awards Program of the American Police Hall of Fame. Our staff members join me in commending you for your value and service. Your outstanding action during the performance of your duties deserves to be recognized. Your bravery and dedication to serve the public as a law enforcement officer is commendable. You set an admirable standard for all officers to follow. Again, please accept our congratulations on your commendation and award. The staff of the American Police Hall of Fame wishes you continued success in your role as a law enforcement officer. Here is black. Also, Congratulations. Great job. And just quickly, a little bit of background. Fino's Pharmacy in Dallas Borough was broken into several times. One night, they had received a call that there was an actual break-in in progress where somebody's seeing it. The officers responded, and the suspect was seen running up through yards. Well, Officer Mendergral decided to go up higher, parked his car and got out, and started to canvass the neighborhood and actually located the guy hiding in the bushes. There was a little bit of a fight, struggle, so it was a tremendous help to get this guy off the road.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next is Officer Taylor Dunn, who we don't have with us at the time. He's working right now in Florida. He was with us for about 1.5 years, but during that time he was a very commendable officer, very community-oriented, very hardworking. Great loss to the Township of Dallas. But on his behalf, Mr. and Mrs. Boyd Dunn, his mom and dad, are here to accept his award. Guys,
Get grandma up there first.
once again, I'll read the letter. This is a life-saving award. I'll give you the background first this time so you kind of know. Once again, at Main Street in Dallas Borough, there was a call one night for 2 unconscious males in a house. Officer Dunn and Officer Kretschmer works for Dallas Borough, responded, and they found 2 males inside of a house unresponsive. 2 of the officers went inside, drug one guy out, went back in, drug the other guy out, went back in, and I believe there's 2 or 3 dogs that they drug out also. What it was carbon monoxide. 2 minutes later, they would have been dead, because the doctor at the hospital said you were there at the right time, the right moment to pull those guys out. So based on what they did, they saved 2 lives, and the dogs' lives too. I believe the dogs survived. Yeah. So you just never know what you're walking into anymore. Carbon monoxide, obviously, you have to hold your breath when you go in, because you don't want to get overcome too. So once again, this is from the American Police Hall of Fame. Dear Officer Dunn, it is my pleasure to inform you that you have been awarded the Life-Saving Award of the National Awards Program of the American Police Hall of Fame. Our staff members join me in commending you for your value and service. Your professionalism in an emergency situation displays your dedication to serve the public as a law enforcement officer. Your selfless act saved a human life, and your actions should be recognized. Your diligence and bravery you exhibited sets an admirable standard for all to follow. Again, please accept this. Congratulations on your nomination and award. The staff at the American Police Hall of Fame wishes you continued success in your role as a law enforcement officer. And here is the presentation. Here are his pins. You'll trust you'll get them too. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Take these two.
Mary Ann. I didn't know it was your son.
All right, we're going to move on to
Our next thing on the agenda is number 2, introduction of Police Department Chaplain. He's here somewhere. There he is. Come on up.
There had been a time, first responders, years ago when first responders responded to any emergency, police, fire, there was always clergy. We've kind of gotten away from that over the years. Clergy's become fewer in numbers, their time has become more limited, and just like law enforcement, I think they're spread very thin. Tasked with being prepared for the unforeseen, Chief Higgins recognizes that none of these changes, that it's clear for the presence of clergy back in the community in some way, shape, or form. We never know when crisis may strike our area. We hope it doesn't, but if it does, this is a good guy to have around. Chief Higgins, you can tell.
Just a little bit of background. Have you all seen what goes on in the world today? There's a lot of tragic incidents, school shootings, deaths, fatal accidents. Our department here is lacking in, clergy to assist us. Obviously, they're a tremendous tool for us, a tremendous relief for us, at a major incident to deal with family and friends. That takes the pressure off of us. I met Matt a few months ago, actually I met you back in November, and I've been working on this program, and I feel it's a vital part of our department to bring this in, just in case something should happen. I hope nothing does, but I'm confident if it does, the calming presence of him alone at a scene will take the pressure off, number one, off of us, and number two, off family members. So that's why I had asked him if he would help us. He's all volunteer, so I welcome him. He's more than welcome to come anytime he wants. He's there for our officers, he's there for our officers' families. Welcome aboard.
Okay. Next on the agenda is, Ben Jones isn't here yet, so we're gonna move right on to number 4, Abby Patrick from the Dallas Kiwanis.
Yes, we're building the ice rink. I wanted to present you with our certificate of insurance to make sure that everything's covered. Would I give that to
Nancy.
Nancy? Okay, all the answers should be in there, but take a look at it and see if they aren't, it's okay. The other thing I wanted to make sure of was, we decided to put up on the basketball court, and we need to go raise funds at this point. And I just want to make sure everything on your end was a go for this project, so that we can start raising funds, as long as the insurance is up to par, right? Is everything?
Do I have a paper for Nancy?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
I'll get it. We're good to go? That's all I needed. I wanted to turn in the insurance, let you know where we were thinking about putting it, and we decided on the park, obviously. So that's what we're going to be raising funds for.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay. Okay, number 5, panel's recommendation for township manager. We had a panel to pick a manager. There was actually 5 of us, 3 supervisors, 2 people from the Back Mountain area that sat in and on all the interviews and everything. And at the end of the resumes, looking at them and everything, they picked Martin Barry as township manager. It was unanimous when we picked, and at this time, I'd like to make a motion.
Can I ask some questions before you vote?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious as to whether Mr. Barry is taking the salary that was offered for the position. I know he makes significantly more than what was offered, and I want to know if he's taking the position as it was presented.
Frank,
No.
do you want to explain the
Yeah, he's
position?
gonna have 2 positions, manager and in charge of the road department.
2 positions.
Yes.
Okay. No, I know.
Right now, we don't have, I don't think, for a full-time manager. I said it in January that we didn't need a manager. We went through the process of appointing a manager, and this is what we come up. We had a rather lengthy discussion on it, and that's the way it turned out.
All right, one more question.
We're only gonna have assistant roadmaster.
Okay,
And Frank, one other thing that was discussed was that, one of the things when we moved out to the new building, our concern was in the foyer area where the lobby area, which you're familiar with, that we talked about getting a receptionist because we needed, we feel that there's gonna be a little bit more activity with Karen Bovik's office and so forth. One of the things that was suggested and agreed upon was that we were gonna hire a person, administrative assistant, that would fill that position, that would do web pages, newsletters, work on MS4, a variety of duties. So there would be a assistant township manager, which would get us, I'm sorry, an assistant roadmaster, which would get a bump in pay, not to the roadmaster salary, but just a slight increase. And then we're going to advertise, in fact, immediately, starting tomorrow, I believe, we suggested that we're going to put an ad in for a replacement for a road worker, okay, a administrative assistant, and
Public accountant.
an accountant that for Nancy's replacement when she retires. So we're going to start that process ASAP. So that was brought up.
when will the specifics be available for those other positions?
You know,
Probably July or August.
well, I think what Liz is asking is, when is the job description going to be ready? We had a meeting this morning. I'm going to say, give us at least a week or 10 days, business days, so we can work on something and put that together.
Okay.
And I'll work on that with supervisors.
Okay, and I need to ask one more question. I am not sure of all of the legalities and all of that with voting